Hi, I'm Christian Guzman, and I approve of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast.
Welcome back to the Board Shorts and Banter podcast. We've got Jakey Morgan joining us today. Jake is about 8 foot tall and weighs 85 kilos on the dot. Yeah, buddy.
This is so bad.
It gets worse. We need more variety of background music, like dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
Go on, Tom. Turn it off now. Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
That is iconic.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Board Shorts and Banter podcast. Josh, how are you?
I'm great. How's you guys?
Jake, hello, mate. This is different. You're on.
I'm on, yeah. So I'm actually taking over the podcast now from these two guys. So yeah, welcome everyone.
The contract is
mate?
signed. It was a small payment of how much was it again, Josh?
Like 80p.
I thought it was 80 million, but okay, I got a different contract, bro.
I'm on the 80p mark, yeah.
80p.
Yeah.
He got us on TikTok shop, bro.
Well, a year of time investment, hours and hours and hours. I'm glad we could all come to the agreement of selling Board Shorts and Banter for 80p.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, but regardless, boys, how are we? Jake, how are we, mate?
Very good, thank you. Well, I say very good. Very good for being 2 weeks and 6 days out of first show. Not that I'm counting. But yeah, pretty good. This prep's been pretty damn smooth. So thanks to your, the boss man sat there. So yeah.
What can I say? I do my best. I try really hard.
Josh, I like how we get our clients on, boys on when they're 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out from their shows. When they're the most primed to really have, good thought-provoking conversation, not slurring words, high on food. It's just good time. We're such good coaches,
So
Tactically, I gave Jake a high day on Saturday with no planning at all. I just went, right, mate, 550 car, bosh, go. And he was like, all right, sweet. A day later, do you want to come on the podcast? It was all part of the plan. It's all part of the process.
I love it.
Yeah.
But Josh, how was your weekend, mate? What did you get up to?
Oh, right. I'll give you a full rundown. So on Friday, guys, I've actually had a really, really bad week. I've completely and utterly fucked my back.
Oh yeah,
it is dead. It
is
no. Dead. What are you smiling for, Tom?
Oh no. Oh, it just means I might get a little bit more stronger than you on back. Oh,
you 100% will. I'm in such a pickle.
No, is it bad? Is it bad still now?
Yeah. I can't take a big breath in. It's just kills.
Is it one of those ones where when you breathe and it spasms and locks up?
Yeah. I can't so at the minute it feels like so if you imagine the bottom hand is my bum and normally you'd be a bit like that. Feels like I'm stuck there. So my lower back's permanently rounded. And if I try to straighten it out, it just kills. So I did that on Friday, getting up off the floor. So I was on the floor, filming for YouTube, doing some look at this t-shirt, this is nice. And then I just went to push myself up off the floor and my back just went. And
that's such a bodybuilder injury.
Yeah. I felt it go, and then I went to put some trainers on, and then it properly went. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So went to the gym still because I was training with... Who was I training with? I was training one of my clients, Joe Tahiri. Training pull, lol. Tried to do a pull session. That obviously wasn't very fun. And then after that, I went for a massage because my Thai woman, shout out to Sal, managed to get me in last minute. And she was like, oh, I can only do 45 minutes. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I just need you to look at my back. 2 hours later, I left. She was like, it's not good. It's not good, Josh. I was like, oh, great. Amazing. So, yeah, that was Friday. Saturday, I spent all day pretty much just sat around in bed. And then yesterday, I went to the BNBF Northerns.
How was the drive down there as well then? How far was it?
It ended up being like 3 hours because I did stop to like, just stand
Ooh.
up and
Yeah, I bet that was nice in the back.
so good. So good. But yeah, BNBF Northern's awesome standard. The BNBF, much like the UKDFBA, they could run the shows so much better because they get such unreal athletes. Like this weekend, they had loads of people come over from Germany that were just like, as you can imagine, just freaks. So yeah, loads of Germans. There was like, do you know Ethan Kavanagh? He's an elite subs boy. He competed, won the overall. He came out. So Ethan's done like a ghost prep, which I really, really respect because like, so many times people just want to leverage prep for like getting in clients and what have you. Not Ethan. No, he just ghosts it. Turned up on the day, looked phenomenal. I think like on one of our first podcasts, I said that I wanted to get Ethan on as a guest because he's one of my favorite bodybuilders. And like, what are we? A year on, he's I think he's going to win everything this year. He's that good. Yeah. There's not much to look at because he doesn't post much. As in, like, he doesn't post his physique. He posts his training, his clients, but not his physique. I really, really, really respect it and love it. Yeah. So he competed. Have you heard of Jordan Long, one of Adam Powell's clients?
Heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, so he's had quite a lot of like, smoke, or like he's been bigged up a lot. And I thought he was going to be the man for the overall. This German guy that's like 6'2" just turned up and like dwarfed him.
Really?
It was insane.
Insane. Yeah, Jordan's ridiculous as well, isn't he?
Jordan is unreal. But this German guy, there was just so much of him. It was not like it weren't like, oh yeah, game over. It was a fair result.
So
who else competed?
Where did Jordan finish overall? Did he just come second?
Second in his class, yeah. Who else competed? Laura Vickers, AJ's girlfriend. She came second in figure and bodybuilding, which was pretty cool to see because I've seen Laura train every single week for the past 3-4 years. So she looked mint, and I had my boy Matthew McMillan compete in his first ever show. There was 5 in his class, and I would have put him in third because I'm biased and his coach. No, I'm joking. Like, I prefer a more muscled look rather than like someone that's got not a lot of muscle that's completely and utterly inside out. And the kid that they put in third was just, I wouldn't say shredded. He was just really, really skinny.
Right. Stringy and lean.
Yeah, really, really stringy. But Matthew looked mint. Like, I think over the entire prep, we pulled off like 23 kilos. So you can't have asked for any more. It's not like he had a period of time of not losing any weight. We've literally lost a kilo or more every week. Yeah. And the end outcome was probably the best physique that we could have done there.
Yeah. Was that his first prep, sorry?
His first prep, yeah. And, interestingly, right, so we had another show lined up in 2 weeks' time. And this week, Matthew starts his first job, or like first proper job. And it's his birthday at the weekend. So it was like, realistically, the amount of sacrifice that he's going to have to make over the next 2 weeks for not a lot of return. Like, you're not going to lose 3 kilos or 4 kilos in 2 weeks, especially when, like, pushed him quite hard. He was like, yeah, I'm happy just to wrap prep up here and go into an off season. And I was initially like, what? No, like, it's 2 weeks, just power on through. But
yeah.
After I thought about it, I was like, it just makes perfect sense. Like, it's the right and mature decision to do, and I really respect him and rate him for it. So yeah, Matthew goes into an off season, and it's been a pretty successful first prep.
Love it.
Yeah.
Jakey boy.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast again, mate. How has your weekend been?
Weekend has been very nice. In a normal setting, I had a family event yesterday. But as you guys know, when you're on prep and you get invited to family events, obviously you want to try and be like sociable and keep things as normal as possible. And I don't want to be the guy that is, I can't turn up because there's food there. It's like, well, that's my decision. I've put myself on prep. That was fun, being surrounded by cakes and edible dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's fine. I had my cream of rice. So that was nice yesterday. And then Saturday managed to get, I know you boys were talking about Gladiator in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I watched Gladiator.
So I've got that tattooed here. Now We're Free. That's the main
I
theme
love
of the film. Absolutely obsessed with that film. It's got a lot of meaning to me, like my dad. And I managed to finally get my partner, Abby, to watch it after 5.5 years of being together. So really, that is a sackable offence in itself. Like I said to her, I don't know how I've kept you that long. Like,
I felt bad for not watching it after 2 years of us working together. How on earth has Abby gone 5.5 years?
Genuinely, I don't know how I've let that slide. But she watched it and she stayed up pretty late to watch it because we're not like, we're like 9:30 bed, especially in prep as well. We were up until about quarter to 11, and that's late for me. But she stayed up the whole time, watched it, and she was fully engrossed in it as well. So I was like, that's a big win.
Did she say that she liked it?
She did. She loved it.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God.
What would you have done if she turned around and was like, is that it?
Well, I'd have got rid of it.
What you've made all this deal about?
That's it, mate. That would have been it. All the engagement rings that I've been looking at, they're off. She's off, mate. Done.
That's that's like the ultimate prep, like prep decision. They're like, just end the relationship is fine. It's fine.
Literally,
it's just the right decision.
This is the right decision. Yeah. But no, it was a nice weekend as far as they can be in prep at the minute. Just have to try and distract myself a little bit and keep myself busy.
Yeah. Well, looking from the outside in, you boys divulge a little bit more detail. So anyone that doesn't know, obviously Jake's in prep right now, and you're 2 weeks and how many days?
2 weeks, 6 days, basically 3 weeks now. Yeah.
And which show is going to be the first one?
So we got PCA Midlands first, which is going to be called Chuck Myself Into a PCA Show for the first one. Following that will be WMBF Supernaturals. I'm most excited for that one for obvious reasons. Shouldn't say that in case anyone from the UKDFBA is listening, and I've got my trophy up there. But
they don't listen, mate. They don't. Okay. If they listened, they'd make changes.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
And then literally 6 days after, I've got the UKDFBA Open. So that's the 3 core shows. Yeah, literally. I think it's a nice interval. Obviously, we've got that 3-week gap in between PCA and WMBF. That's like the big one, and then finishing off with the UKDFBA. And then if things go well, maybe we'll do another show 5-6 weeks later. If they don't, then it is what it is. So
if things go well, I think it'd be pretty cool. Like if you went to the PCA British or something, I think that would be a really, really fun afternoon.
Do you know what? I'm open to do, and I've already made plans with some friends on that weekend. Not like food related or anything, but it's like there's an event on. But I said to Abby, I was like, if I do well at PCA, and I get invited to it's in Telford, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got
venue.
To do it. Yeah. So we'll see. We just play it by ear.
Play it by ear. This is the thing. Like, I think it's good that we've got a core of shows that you're going to do, and then if there's any extras come with that, then that's great. But even if your season finished after these 3, still a pretty damn good season.
It'd be great. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
So prep so far, then give us like a brief summary of like where you started and what's been achieved so far for anyone obviously that hasn't followed your journey.
Yeah, so I competed first of all in 2022. So that was my first prep season. Wanted to do it before that, but obviously we had multiple lockdowns, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to stick to doing 2022. I was with a different coach at the time. I won my first show. I came 5th in my second, and I qualified for at the time, the UKDFBA finals, which, when they had all the regionals as well. I chose not to go to the finals because in my head I was like, yep, you've won one, you've come 5th in another. I'm going to call it there. I don't want to stress out. In my head, I was like, I want to, and it might be like what you guys say is, you probably shouldn't think like that, but I wanted to go thinking I'm only going if I'm going to win. And it's a real I think that's a kind of bad mentality to have in that sense, because that would have been a good opportunity to get on a final stage just to get more experience. But I own that, and that was right at the time. Capped the season off, went into a big off season, switched coaches, got the mastermind behind steering the ship, and then so we planned out 2024. We said we were going to do a PCA show. We knew we'd do WMBF and a UKDFBA purely because, I've got an affiliation with them, that, in the sense that's what I did before. In terms of where we started, it's been a pretty smooth journey. I think we're 22 weeks in now, Josh, which is pretty mad. It's gone extremely quick. I've tried to be really present this time round compared to last, because I think in your first, you don't really know how to take things in week by week. Emotions are all over the place. You're digging, like everything's just hard. It's all new. This time round, fully prepped, knew what was coming. We've made the right changes. Nothing's been too, and I don't want to say this to like get people's hopes up, because every prep is like, it's so specific to an individual. I lose weight, as we know, Josh, like that. Body is hyper responsive, so we haven't had to come up higher than 30 minutes of cardio, maybe 4 or 5 times a week at points. But it's been pretty smooth. We've done the Tom, I know you do this as well, I think with your clients, you dig, feed, repeat, and just do that to get into certain points, and it's worked so well. Multiple refeeds, managed fatigue well. Energy's been a bit all over the place recently. Hormones are definitely been affected. Make of that what you will. It don't take a genius to work it out. Look, you get yourself into prep. Yes, genuinely.
That's the true sign. It's the true sign that you're in condition, mate.
Yeah, I've never been in condition.
Part-timer.
No, it's been sweet. We're to be this close now, and we've done it. We've got into condition really early, which, trust me, is the best thing you can do. Do the hard work early, and have more time to play about, play with data and get things, set and ready for the show period.
Yeah. How much have you lost so far then?
We have gone from
20.2 kilos as of this morning, but if it was the other day, then it were like 20.3, 20.4 or something.
It is relative though, because how tall are you again? You are tall. You're a big boy.
I want to say 6'2", but it's not right. I'm 6'1", really. I'd like to say 6'2" to make myself feel better.
At the start of prep, 6'2", because of fat and obviously, Yeah, 100%.
When we pushed up though, like Jake's peak off season looked pretty tidy. Still some ab definition. You can see every line. He definitely weren't fat or super soft. So I didn't think that we had 20 kilos to pull off, but that's the beauty of when you give yourself a little bit more time, you do find out like, all right, okay, we have got more work to do, or like there's more fat to come off, but it's fine because we've got the time to pull it off. Whereas if you do it the other way around of like, oh, I think you've got 15 kilos to lose. Let's plan a 15 kilo like fat loss journey. But yeah, Jake's looking absolutely mint. We actually contemplated doing a show. Would it have been this weekend just gone?
Yeah, it was we were debating on doing the Two Bros or the MPA, which I think is coming up this weekend or the weekend after. But yeah, again, it was Two Bros. Literally, the Braywick Centre is around the corner from me. So it would have been like convenient to do it. But then equally, the price of doing a Two Bros show, I was like, for being on stage probably for 20, 30 minutes and then being done, because they run it quite efficiently, I'd think to myself, there's a lot of money to put in just to be on and off like that. So, yeah.
Well, if you're paying that price as well, you'd expect like quite stringent drug testing.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what their procedure is for that either.
Tom, you know what the procedure is?
I don't know if it's been updated. I don't know if it's
you natural.
Josh, are you natural anymore? You know.
Yeah, you're right. It's squeeze the testicles.
Yeah, it's squeeze the nuts, cough. Are you natural? If they move up, yes. If not, yeah. Sorry, mate.
Shit, I should have done it. That sounds well good.
Mr. JT does it himself for you. Right?
Yeah.
Not a nurse.
And then sometimes you get a 10x sponsorship if you pass the test properly.
The test, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. But no, so obviously, 20 odd kilos pulled off. You're feeling pretty damn good right now. What would you say? Because obviously every single prep is different. What would you say is like the biggest thing that you've learned so far from this prep in comparison to like your last one that you did? When was what year did you do your last one?
2022. So it's been 2 years. I'd probably say that learning how precious my energy is, like as in giving off the right energy to certain people that deserve it, and being very selfish this time round in the right ways. Anyone that knows me really well, and even like Josh, you understand this well now from our interactions. I give off a lot of energy in training. I give off a lot of my time, and I find that I actually, to try and take that, it takes a lot from me. So I've tried to be a bit more present this time round with understanding how much I need to give off to the right people, and how selfish I should be, because I'm putting myself into a phase where, I'm doing this for me. I'm trying to be a better version of myself, relative, whether that's any sport you get into, you should always be looking in and saying, right, who's closest to me? Who do I need to give the right amount of energy to? And where do I need to be really like strict with my time? And it's worked a lot better for me this time round. Everything's been managed so well. I've got a great routine in place. So yeah, I definitely say energy consumption and I guess just balance this time round.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Shall we go a little bit further back and talk about like why or how you got into bodybuilding for the first time?
Yeah.
How long have you been training for, Jake?
So I worked this out the other day. In terms of training in any vein, I've been training since 14. I would say purely bodybuilding focused. So I'm 26, purely bodybuilding focused, maybe since end of 2018 when I first signed up with my coach. Because prior to that, it was just, I was trying out German volume training. I was doing functional work. Like I always kept myself lean. And then signed up to the gym I'm at now in 2018. And then it was very powerlifting, bodybuilding centered. So it's like, this is awesome. I'm around the right people now.
Yeah.
What actually got me into bodybuilding was that in my family, my uncle he's now an IFBB pro. He's like 62 years old. He's still competing now. I'll get some photos of it at some point and show you guys, but he's called Simon Morgan. And so bodybuilding's been in the family for a long time. He had a gym back in the day in Windsor called Castle Gym, and it was quite well known, and it shut down in about 2006. But yes, that it's always been in the family. Dad was very athletic. He was into karate. He was very like lean. So it didn't bless me with very good calves though, but he did bless me with a very good back. Can't have it all. But yeah, so really it's been in the family for a long time. My auntie was a bodybuilder as well. And yeah, so 2018 onwards, got signed up with my coach at the time, and we spoke about what I wanted to do. And I said, I want to get into it. I'd like to compete and try it out. And we aimed towards doing prep in 2021 and then moved it back to 2022. Got on stage for the first time, got the bug for it. Like I was told by a lot of people, like you'll get on and you'll either love it or you'll hate it. And I got on and I was the most comfortable I felt in my life. And like more so the whole day prior was nerve wracking. So I was shitting myself. The minute I got on stage, every nerve went, I felt comfortable. I was confident. And the minute I got moved to center stage and held that, genuinely, I was like, I belong here. This is it. This is what I want to do. And yeah, so since then, just carried on, moved with Josh. Very, very productive off season in 2023. Got very strong, and yeah, that's mainly like
Stupidly strong. Like,
Stupid strong.
I'd
Yeah.
look at the numbers. It'd be like checking over, like, oh God, what's he done this week? And I'm like, oh shit, this
Yeah.
is insane.
Why isn't Jake coaching me?
No, honestly, Jake was the. Oh no, I've had it a couple of times. Jake was one of the first people where, like, I'd look at his lifts and go, genuinely, this guy smokes me on most things. I'm fine with that. Like, I know I'm not a power lifter, so that's fine. But then Jake looks the way that he looks as well, and it's like, oh shit, Jake might actually beat me as well one day. That's a concern.
You say about powerlifting as well. So actually, just to touch on that, prior to starting with my coach, I did 6 months of powerlifting with my mate who was, he did meets and things like that. And genuinely, if I wasn't doing bodybuilding, I'd be into powerlifting because the foundations that sets up, just in terms of functional, I'd say even for functional fitness as well, the way you're having to learn how certain lifts come together, how the body works, it's so fun. And it definitely helped me with actually getting fully into bodybuilding and just the way I lift as well.
Yeah.
From coaching guys that have crossed over from powerlifting to bodybuilding, they typically do very well, like really well. And like the thing is, when it comes to bodybuilding, pushing a physique, you get to a certain point where you can literally walk into the gym, sneeze like as a newbie, and you'll grow, right?
Yeah.
But you get to that point in your training where composure, exercise cueing, bracing, like breathing, all these factors, even like mental kind of cueing and getting yourself in that locked in position for a set becomes so important to be able to continue to progress in bodybuilding. Because if you haven't got that composure, that breathing, like, set breaks down, you just don't get that same like progression.
100%.
Versus the guys that are powerlifting, they've already got that to a degree, and they've got really good execution as well. It's just a case of then switching up their training and then pushing their intensity towards, rather than short bursts of energy, maintaining that over a long set. But they typically do very, very, very well. Like, I've got one guy on my team called Jack, who was like an avid powerlifter before, now doing bodybuilding. Ridiculous. Like, I'm about to put his transformation out like in the next few weeks. Ridiculous.
Yeah. There's a massive carryover. Big carryover.
Yeah. I'm trying to think is there any pros or people that have done well in the bodybuilding space at the minute that have done powerlifting like that come to mind?
I can't think at the minute. Obviously, I know like back in the day, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that Ronnie Coleman was like powerlifting prior. But like that, I know like he is the genetic freak, but that's still a prime example of how there is a carryover.
Hey Jay, the state of Ronnie now, that's going to be you in like 20 years time.
No, I shouldn't say that. No. I haven't got the genetics to be able to be like, yeah, cool, I'll take that. So no, I definitely don't want to be blessed in the state.
No one wants to be in a wheelchair, mate. Nothing's worth that. But you don't train legs because men's physique, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Have you seen Jake's legs? Jesus Christ. Your hamstrings, not so much.
No.
They're kind of fat, but your quads.
Yeah. It's
have you got well-developed hamstrings, though?
Yeah.
The thing is, they're very
I would
strong.
say so.
Yeah. And like,
you've got long legs.
Yes.
A lot of muscle there, just distributed over a large area.
My torso is very like compact in comparison to the length of my legs. But you say about the legs. Do you know how many comments I've had? I'm still so self-conscious. I don't know about you boys. I always get self-conscious about legs. I'm like, oh, my legs are small. But I think it's just because we are men's physique lads. Like it's just in our heads, like, oh, we must have small legs. But the amount of people that have said, I hope you're getting your legs out on stage this season. I'm like, no, I'm not. Not yet. So that might be in future. I never say never. Like I used to genuinely, it's a little bit sad, but it is what it is. Whatever gets you into the mindset. I used to sit and watch Dorian Yates posing videos every night after training whilst eating, because that guy was my idol. Honestly, idol to get me into bodybuilding, as well as my uncle, obviously my dad. And I was like, yeah, I want to be an open bodybuilder. But then realistically, if I look back to what, the videos I was watching to start getting me into this industry, I loved Steve Cook, genuinely. Steve Cook, Christian Guzman, and to be fair, I hate to say it now because of the connotations and things surrounding him, but Jeremy Buendia, like, what a physique, genuinely. I was watching those guys religiously, and so the men's physique's always been something I've wanted to work towards, but I just told myself, I think, it's got to be working towards open or classic. But even my partner said, when you strip down, your body sort of, it dictates what class you're built for. And I think I am more men's physique centered. I think I could do well in an open show one day. Like, I think my front pose is great, like, and the rear double shot, but we'll see. It might just be one, where you chuck in one show in a season just to see how you get on. But yeah,
it's one of those things, like, you train like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You train like a bodybuilder, and your body will dictate to a degree, like, where you lie in terms of category. And that is what it is. It doesn't mean just because you're a men's physique guy that you skimp out on your leg training, because we can clearly see you don't,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, your body is genetically only going to do what it wants to do in the long term. So
Agreed.
Yeah, especially when you strip down as well, it's gonna, as you said, like, reveal where you do sit.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your biggest motivating factor then, Jake, when it comes to bodybuilding and just training in general?
Well, it stems. I have a lot, really. I've had, and I don't want to get into. We won't go into like too much detail because it could go on for a while. But in terms of like family life and upbringing, it's not been, I'd say, the easiest life. I've had my parents, bless them, love them dearly. Like, my dad passed away in 2021. So he was very special to me. Like, he had, he was an alcoholic, and it was sort of growing up with someone that, as a lot of people probably have experienced, like, when you're surrounded by someone that's got an addiction, and, everyone would be like, well, yeah, but they can help themselves. It's like, yeah, granted, but when you don't know someone's background and what led them to that. Like, I used to be like, oh, if it's negative, just cut it out, all that crap. But knowing what he went through in his childhood, how he was brought up, and people look to substances to take them out of reality. And I guess that's what he did throughout his life. But he was a very, very complicated in terms of health all his life. He struggled with being in and out of work. But he always managed to, whether or not, I don't know how he got all of his money, like, to provide for me, he still did. He'd make sure if I wanted, when I wanted my drum set, he would get me that. When I wanted my driving lessons, he managed to find a way to. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
It just made it happen.
He
like
made it happen. Yeah. Don't know how. It could have been through the most illegal way possible, and probably was, because he was quite dodgy. But it is what it is. So, yeah, he passed in 2021, and that was a big turning point in my life for me, because me and Abby were present when it happened, and so that bonded us together. Like, when people, like, everyone says, you and Abs are so close. It's like, yeah, because we've been through a lot. Like, and she's a diamond. Like, she's one of my biggest. Josh, obviously, you met her the other week. We're like that. She is.
She's pretty amazing, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's fucking strong.
Yeah,
and she likes Gladiator.
But there you go.
Mate,
like, that's
the triple threat. Yeah.
Yes, she pushes me to be better. She inspires me. She's so hardworking, and she wants the same things out of life as me. So that's a big driving factor. My dad's a massive inspiration to me, just from him being my best mate, like the person I looked up to. It doesn't matter if he was in some people's eyes would probably say, well, what's so special about him? But he was my dad, and he was my idol. Like, we all resonate with our parents, hopefully in some way, and I did with him. And that's also why I got this, just as a reminder to because it was our favourite film, Gladiator, and it's got a lot of meaning to the two of us. So that's always on me as a reminder to him now. And that's what made winning in 2022 so special, because obviously he passed in October of 21, and then I started my prep the following year. So that was a big push for me to get on stage. Genuinely, when you talk about like how death can strive people to, seek new heights, and that was like, I didn't need any other motivational factor to get it done. It was just through like, I'm going to do it, get on stage, and then picture you being out in the crowd. And that genuinely, I held so many tears back whilst competing, because I thought to myself, you just think like, just picture him there now. You're doing exactly what he wanted you to do, and that was enough. So that's a big push for me. And then my mum as well. Again, won't go into too much detail, but she's struggled all her life with health complications. I look after her in some way now. We almost act as a bit of a carer. She has struggled with bipolar all her life, so mental health disorder, from the birth of one of my sisters. And, she's struggled being in and out of hospital all her life. So I've seen a lot there, medication, the way that she can't work and things like that. And she still has had a great outlook in life. She's basically, I guess, like, hit so many points at which she probably couldn't and shouldn't be here. Like, she had cancer, leukemia. Anyone that's been through that is
Jesus, Jake.
Oh, genuine, honestly, it's just like when you've seen someone go through that chemotherapy, and then do you know what it was, boys? The worst thing is, after all of that, and in 2018, she developed. It's quite a particular disease, but I don't know if anyone listening would have heard of it. It's called encephalitis, and it's a form of brain damage. And that was under, sadly, the care of the NHS, and it wasn't picked up. But things happen, and we're managing. And yeah, it's been a rough ride. Like, there's been other things as well, but she's still here to tell the tale. When she probably shouldn't have been. Like, so I'm I count my blessings honestly every day. So she is the biggest, day-to-day reminder of how shit and tough life can be to one person, how much shit can be thrown at one person, and they can still carry on with a positive outlook in life. So yeah, they're my three biggest things that would probably be classed as my why, if you want to put it that way. Sorry, I don't want to get that's really deep. Let's get back to happy. Come on.
No,
where's some Ian Talbot Balfe questions? Look.
Yeah. These are the things that people need to hear, mate. These are the things that people need to hear, because sometimes when you think you've got it hard, and it's all relative, because when people are in their own lives, that's all they've ever known. People have had different exposure to different things. In terms of like their upbringing and whatnot. Some people have had it easier, some people have had it harder, but everyone has their struggles. But someone's out there has always got it worse than you.
100%.
And when you think that you haven't got a lot to look out on life and be, grateful for, you probably have. It's just you need to actually sit down, slow down, reflect, and realize that, mate. And I feel like, you are like an embodiment of that. So, mate, like, people need to hear that kind of stuff, and I appreciate you sharing that, man.
No, I appreciate you guys letting me come on to share things like this as well. It's nice. So yeah.
Bless you, mate. Yeah, you'd be surprised like how many people have things similar to what you've gone through, and they would use that as like an excuse not to, not to do something, not even to try something, because they're almost like they're fearing the what they feel to be inevitable, like downfall, or
accept their circumstances as they are, and you could easily sit there and like have like a bit of a victim mindset, like why is all this happened to me? Why is this? Why is that? Whereas you can look at the situation, you can spin it to a positive. It's just very mentally challenging, and it's also almost like a skill to be able to do that, mate. And you've obviously developed that skill out of like a means of literal like survival. You've had to pick up the pieces and hold your family together.
Tom, you're bang on there. Actually, you just made me think as well, like that. So when all of this was happening, especially with all of the trips to hospital, like that's absolutely why as well I really delved into training, because at the time, back in like 2018, 2017, 2019, I wasn't sat there thinking I'm going to go, I'm going to become a bodybuilder, make money from this, get sponsorships, all of this malarkey that we all want to strive towards. I used training as literally a means of coping, because I was in that mindset of, if I don't do this, I don't know what I'm going to do. I genuinely, I was concerned about myself. My family was concerned about me. I would literally, my days would be up early, walk the dog. I would go to work. I would go to the hospital to see mum. I would come back at say 9:30, 10 o'clock from like Oxford, because it was in the, at the time when she was in the cancer hospitals. Come back. I'd go to the gym ultra late, and then I'd be. I'm not. This is not like sympathy. I'm just saying, like, but this is like the way in which I structured the days. I'd come back and be like, okay, cool, it's midnight. Eat my food, go to bed. So routine was horrendous, but I made it work. Like, the gym was my coping mechanism. I poured everything into it, and it's what kept me on the straight and narrow. And then it's now, from being something that I've used to cope with my struggles and struggles in my family, it's now turned into my life passion, and the one thing that I genuinely can't live without. Like that's it. So that, I think it's nice that I've had that organic switch up. Like, I've used this to get through life, and now this is what I want to be my life.
Yeah. But it's not only that, like, as well, like what you've learned through your own training.
Yeah.
But also what you've learned from like a mentality standpoint. That's something that can't be taught. Like, say, for instance, if you want to become a PT, you want to become a coach, no one can teach you how to think that way. Only you can teach yourself for like what you're exposed to, and like you can share that with other people.
Exactly.
And that's ultimately probably long term going to make you a better coach,
Yeah,
a better partner. All kinds of things, man. So it's definitely the best way to spin a negative into a positive,
100%.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely. I've got a lot I want to get out there now, and I've realised that I think I'm in a pretty good spot now to try and get the story across, to use socials in a good way, and try and get my personality across now, and build up a bit of a community, build up some more traction in the natural bodybuilding world and industry. I want to, similar to you guys, genuinely, I was talking to Abby about this yesterday. I really want to push to get natural bodybuilding to the heights I think it should be at. So yeah, whatever that brings over the next 10 years, we will see. But I've got a lot of ideas in my head.
Don't think, do, mate.
Yeah, just crack on, mate. I think if you're thinking about it, you're slowing yourself down. Just do.
Yeah, true.
I love it.
Tom, do you know the Don't Think, Do? Do you know what film that's from?
I don't know, but I've got it tattooed here.
It's on Top Gun.
Is it?
Yeah. Me and Annabella, right. So me and Annabella are trying to educate ourselves on films at the minute. So at the minute we're watching all the Daniel Craig films.
That's such a required couple thing to do, mate.
Wait,
what?
When you said Daniel Craig films, then
as in like Daniel Craig Bond films.
Oh, okay. It was like, hold on, Top Gun. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's on Top Gun Maverick. Don't think,
it is.
Just do.
Don't think, just do. Yeah. It's a good film, that.
Is it?
Yeah, boys. I'm just a big fan of Top Gun.
Yeah. Maybe they saw your tattoo and was like, that's a really good saying. We're going to put that into the film. And it's going to be like the main motto of the film.
I think, when did it come out, that film? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I had my tattoo before then.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I did.
You got it. No, you didn't. You got it the day after you went to the film. I remember. Why are you lying?
Oh, mate.
Tom. Oh, my God. Tom Stockton, Tom Cruise. Oh, my God. It's all coming together now.
All right, boys. What I haven't told you is I was actually an extra in that film.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's just like doing all the cool. Me.
Oh, no. You were the one that was like going into the ground. Just
nose diving, kamikaze in it. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool to know, though.
Yeah, very funny. I have some questions.
I have one question because, again, I did pulled weight for the team, and I definitely did put a question box up on my story.
You're useless.
I know, mate. I know. But I have one question.
All right.
Shall I cover that?
Yeah, go for it. Unless it's Ian.
Beautiful. It's not Ian. It's actually ex-client of mine, Mr. James Street, who's a big fan of hip hinging, right?
Oh yeah.
Loves a good...
That's an interesting niche. Hip hinging.
You know, because me and Josh are just weak and feeble, right? Jake has a massive RDL. What would your top tips be if your upper back scapular retraction are the limiting factor? It's always the weakest link in the chain. Upper back starts to round near failure. Is it just more rows / shrugs or anything else more specific? Love the podcast. Keep up the good work, guys. Flex emoji. Love heart emoji.
Oh, how sweet. How sweet. Yeah. Do you want me to answer first then? If it's
Yes, Jake.
You're the one with the erectors made of like titanium, so you let us know.
Well, to be fair, I did an RDL set the other day. I checked True Coach though after, and Josh hasn't got them programmed in anymore, and I was like, oh shit.
Whoops.
But, yeah, and they did feel a little bit like glass, but that's probably because of where I'm at now in prep. So top tips from a hinge perspective, obviously RDL is my favourite. I would say in terms of like the upper back, obviously need to be strengthening it anyway. So just genuinely a lot of upper back work. I have a lot of upper back work, high rows. I would definitely advocate. I like bent over rows. I think if you do them properly, not necessarily the yeah buddy aspect, I think that they could be a real beneficial lift. I'd say more on a simplistic view though. If just look at what's going to happen over time in a lift, you are going to loosen up the longer you're in a set, the closer you get to failure. It just happens. So you need to acknowledge that over time that will get better. It doesn't have to be like week on week adding 5 kilos each time, because then you're probably, unless your weight's going up, a kilo a week as well, you will find that something's going to give at some point. And it's usually always the upper back first, the longer you're in a set. I would say you need to be better with your cueing. Obviously relative. I haven't watched like his sets and things like that, but I always, if I feel like it's going to be the thing that goes, like when I was doing the heaviest for me, I would be like, right, so I need to keep head neutral at all times, because obviously, risk of injury, making sure that lats are completely locked in. Bar path is always against, shins, never leaves the body. So I'd always say to myself, rip the skin off the body. It's always just rip the skin. You don't let it leave your skin. That's it.
Yeah.
So that stays against you at all times. And then really, the minute you step out, just think retraction, lock in, and then try and keep that the whole time. Keep slow. And if you feel like you need to, at the top of every rep, slightly reset and go again, then do it.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest and best thing to do. And then, if you're doing it pulls from the floor again, whilst I'd think there's a time and a place for touch and go reps, that slight bounce, if you don't control it, will obviously loosen your upper back as well. So really, it's probably best to stop, slight reset, go again. If that's a weakness for you, start working on that cue first to get that really well.
Stop the inertia at the bottom so that your upper back doesn't have to fight so hard to be able to stop that inertia. Because obviously,
100%.
This is what I always say is if you drop a weight down, if like, for instance, you were passed really gently, like a dumbbell, you'd be able to quite comfortably take it. If someone threw a dumbbell at you, you'd have to catch it and it's going to fucking, knock you over.
Yeah.
Like, it's always about just slowing down that inertia at the bottom, but also you have to generate more power out of the bottom from a, less bounce as well. It's probably going to light up that upper back, lower back a little bit more as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I've seen James's RDLs and he's very strong actually for body weight. But I feel like regardless, if you're going for a big heavy set on RDLs, you just are going to see form breakdown. But so long as it isn't dangerous, like you see Keithy West deadlift, like I sometimes look, I'm like, fucking hell, it's like one of his vertebrae is going to ping out of his upper back, but he's been doing it for years. It's safe. He knows his limitations. Like he's not chasing perfection. He's doing it in a manner that's safe for him.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like the safety of a hip hinge is relative to your experience and your general strength. Like Keefe is a perfect example of it. It's sometimes you look at his sets, you go, "Fucking hell, this kid's going to get injured." But you go on his Instagram, and he's done it for years and years and years. So
this is like with Reese Fit, his leg press sets, his lower back coming off. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I see that. I'm like, Jesus.
Anything
Christ.
that Reese does, you look at it and you go, fucking hell. His blood work, his current cycle, diet plans, you name it. You just go, jeez.
And I feel like I've heard him speak about it in the past. He's like, this just works for me. Like, it doesn't hurt my lower back. Like, it feels fine. You know? If you're rounding and it's hurting and you're getting niggles, and obviously you need to do something different.
Yeah.
If you're getting a little bit of form breakdown, but towards the end of your set, but you're still fine, like it feels good, and you're still doing what you can do to cue it and to keep it tight. Like, I wouldn't overthink it.
Another thing, just to finish on that, just record the sets as well. Record it, watch it side on, see what's going first, and if there's anything you can improve on, just take note each time. But I completely agree. It's going to break down eventually. I wouldn't worry too much unless it's every rep looks like that. Then you've got an issue. Yeah.
Right. Next question. Martin Lamont, my boy, fellow just coaching client. What did you end up having at Nando's?
I
can't remember.
You can't remember? I reckon I can remember yours. Abby can, because she was starving and she had. I think she clocked that you had like chips and rice, and she was like, she said to me the other day, she was like,
"Whoa."
You
mean potatoes and rice?
I had on Josh's orders, because I'm such a good student, good lad. I said,
you are.
I said, what should I have? You said 2 spicy rice and basically any wrap, really, because it's not going to do much damage, and it's probably going to be So I had a grilled chicken wrap. Hey, what was that? Fino Pitta. That is the one thing I want to try next time. I've never had one. Abby used to get that when we went to Nando's every time, and I love halloumi now. So,
Right, Jake. If you win the PCA Midlands,
mate, if I win the PCA Midlands, I want more than a fucking Nando's.
Cookie pie?
I
can bring the cookie pie, mate.
Don't start this shit. Don't start this shit.
Me and Zach are going to have a field day. You watch when we're done. Can't wait.
Right. Speaking of Zach has asked, first post-show meal planned.
I love that. Honestly, me and Zach have formed such a good friendship. This is why I love this industry. I know you guys be like, yeah, but it's over fucking food. Genuinely, him and me, I really like him. I think he's
that's
great. Another the podcast you had him on as well. Great example of just like the right type of person to have on to talk about experiences in life as well. In terms of like our bond, we've just we spoke about the event I was at yesterday, and then he sent me a message this morning being like, I was at an event too, and they had these tray bakes there, and I was like, bro, stick to it. We've got it, mate. It's fine.
He sent me through a message yesterday. Obviously, he's been having like some issues with his like heel. He's got like a little blister on his heel, and he hasn't really been able to do his cardio and struggling with steps, all that kind of stuff. And he goes, "We have got a problem." Just sent me a message in capitals. I was like, "Oh fucking hell, what's that? What now?" Like 2 weeks out, and then he just sent me through loads of pictures of tray bakes. I was like, "Really?"
Bless him.
Fantastic.
It does hit people differently each time. I did say, I've got the benefit of being my second prep. Like, I knew it was coming, but first post prep meal, I think it depends on what you class it as, because I would go after prep in general. I can't really think that far ahead and tell you what I'm going to fancy. Like, there's loads of things I like to eat. I'd probably just play it safe, and I love curry, but it's really, really genuinely have a curry for someone that's got a really sensitive stomach. That's going to ruin me post shows.
Yeah.
I probably would stick to something like just a real messy. I say this is not going to ruin me either. A messy Five Guys, or just a decent steak. Like I like steak, steak chips, sweet potato fries, like a nice bit of like So Miller and Carter do that, like that weird onion loaf. I love it.
Yeah.
So
Miller and Carter is so underrated.
Actually is, but then similar to
It's a lot of
Nando's.
flack, but I actually like it.
Yeah. It's not cheap. Like, but if you was to go to Miller and Carter, what would you order?
I would get I'd get either a rump or fillet, and then sweet potato fries, the onion loaf, and then for afters, I'd probably get, I don't know if they do like their cookie dough and stuff like that, or ice cream, and then to start, I'd have they do that like sweet chili chicken to start, so I'd have that. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. That's a nice post-prep meal. Yeah,
that's pretty perfect.
Yeah.
I would have a full Chateaubriand.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. I'd spend 54 quid on steak.
Have you guys ever been to Bluegrass and had the meat platter there?
No, never heard of it.
No. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good. But yeah,
Bluegrass.
I would just have my my pre-prepared oats because I'm bodybuilder. I wouldn't have enough pan meal.
I mean, yeah, initially from stage, like last time round, what were you going to say, Josh?
No. I've just remembered something that I need to bring up about Tom, but carry on.
Well, post second show in 2022, because I knew it was going to be my last one, I did go a bit overboard. My stomach was not happy with me after. So I'm not going to make that mistake this time. But I didn't. After that, I didn't binge at all. Like I'm so strict with my food. Like genuinely, I just got straight back to plan. I think this time round, I need to make sure that I have like either if it's like a small bowl of cream of rice or like something after, just to get something normal in before I go and have maybe a burger or like a Nando's.
Yeah,
I've got to be careful.
Yeah. To be honest with you, mate, I'm not a fan of giving someone an off-plan meal like mid-prep. So like with Theo and Gio, I think we did like a Nando's, if that.
Yeah.
Just like whilst the season's on and you've got goals like you've got and you've got the potential that you've got, going mad, it doesn't provide any value. Like, Tom, what are you laughing at?
Nothing. I was just going to say, like, even just having like a Nando's, it just ticks the box. It's a nice little mental reset for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
I was just thinking about my post show. It was great.
Yeah, you are repulsive.
I needed it though, bro. I was like wasted away.
Yeah.
We'll just
do you know, like kids in Africa that are starving?
Yeah.
No, they're not sending them that, like, what's it called, like frumpy or whatever, that mush stuff. They're sending them cookie dealers now because they need it.
Mate, that should be like cookie dealers' next step, I reckon, is just sending those little neutron star missiles of calories over there.
I do like them though. Cookie Champion and those cookie box, they are nice. Abby's bought a couple of them for post show for me, and she's got them in the freezer ready. I'm sorry, that's girlfriend material there, man. That's good.
I think I need to have a word with Abby. Right. Ian Talbot Balfour's asked, do you think white privilege is a thing? And if so, why? So we're not answering that question.
That guy, bloody hell.
Cheers.
He's just mad. He's just mental.
Mental. What did I say, Jake? Expect some kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's pretty tame compared to the ones I've listened to, because I listen to the podcast every week, and some of the ones he sent in are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're mad. They're just absolutely repulsive. Actually, before I ask the next question, Tom, what did you get up to at the weekend, mate?
The weekend?
Yeah, what did you get up to at the weekend, mate?
I went out.
Yeah, what did you do?
Bowling. I went yesterday.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that bowling. Tell us about bowling. Who'd you go bowling with?
No. Okay, all right. So I went with my girlfriend. We played... Right. Listen, boys. I'm a good bodybuilder, right? Before we go.
No, you're not.
I'm a good bodybuilder. Right? So right, okay. So we went to this place in Birmingham called Roxy Lanes, I think it's called. Played a game of bowling. One game. I lost by around 10 points to Georgia.
Tell me your...
She was like a county level women's hockey player. Right, very, very athletic girl. Okay, just laying the ground there. So she beat me at bowling.
So what did she do? Get a frigging hockey stick and...
Nah, it's just coordination, isn't it, mate? I'm dyspraxic, right? my left, my right. I don't know. But anyway, so we played one game of bowling. She beat me. I was like, cool, right. Then we played a game of.
What score did you get, Tom?
I think it was like 63. Don't pull that face. Come on.
See, I don't like bowling, but I'm pretty good at it.
I'm not a fan of it, and I'm not very good at it. Probably
Right.
not very good at it.
Don't do it again then.
Nah, I want to do it now. I want to get better. All right? I want to get better. So anyway, got about 63. Cool. Josh, I get 120. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
and
I
then
do.
we played this game where it's like, it's got a ramp, and you roll the ball, and then the ball goes in little holes, and each hole's got like a score. I don't know what it's called.
Glory holes.
Glory holes. Yeah, that one. We played about 4 games. She beat me on all of them.
Ooh.
Okay. I was getting frustrated as well, and I was just there on my phone, just binging them. I was like, I'm going to win. I was like, I'm pay, because I was like, I need to win this. But anyway, 4 games, didn't win. And then, last one, do you know the shooting hoops? Just like, you've got like 4 balls, you just throw them in. 4 games. She beat me on all of them.
So 8 games of whatever and
9.
bowling you got beat.
10 games total. I didn't win one.
That's disgusting.
But I was getting pretty good at the end, right? my thing is, under pressure, I crack. Like, when it comes to shit like that, because I know I'm shit, or at least I've told myself all my life I'm bad. It's just the pressure of it, mate. Gets to my head.
Meanwhile, like, you're getting moderately better. George is getting called up to the bloody NBA.
Literally. I'm like, she fucking schooled me, mate. However, hear me out. Last Man Standing, Modern Warfare 2, Search and Destroy lobby. 0 pressure.
See, Black Ops was one for me, mate. First Black Ops game.
Yeah, literally. So put me in a lobby, Search and Destroy, Last Man Standing. Cool as a cucumber. Put a ball or a bowling ball in my hand. I crack under pressure.
You are an embarrassment, honestly.
I know, mate. I'm gonna stick to bodybuilding. There we go.
On our first double day, I think that's what we're going to do, though. We're going to go bowling together. What's all this food?
Keen for that? Yeah, she's keen for that, of course.
Have you got to bring in shakes in?
Yeah, table service. Thank you.
Tommy, I'll tell you what, mate. You might be rubbish at bowling, but you've got to... How long's it took to get her whipped?
Huh?
How long's it took to get her whipped?
She's not whipped. She's just an amazing girl.
Okay. Right. Speaking of kitchens, Ruth F. Gill or Jill has asked, top 3 kitchen appliances.
Oh, currently air fryer, microwave, obviously.
Yeah.
And
toaster.
Ooh.
Who wants cold bread, hey?
Well, toaster in the off season, yeah, when you're eating like 6 to 8 bagels a day. What else? Maybe what's that? The Ninja.
Yeah.
No. What's the? I can't think of it.
Creamy.
Ninja Creamy.
I haven't got one. I'd like one.
I would love one.
I'd love one of them, but equally, me and one of my best mates are just really like bonded at the minute over because he's massively into coffee and he's massively into that lifestyle. And I haven't got a coffee machine yet. I've got an AeroPress. I would love to get my own full at home espresso machine.
What espresso machine would you want to get?
Well, he started with the Sage Barista Pro or Express, and that would be a pretty good entry level one for me. I don't think they're too expensive, like relative to what you think is expensive, but the Ninja one that's come out looks great.
Really? Ninja have done a...
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, my mate got one. Was it, it was in the thousands, like...
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
The one that I want is £1,500.
The thing is,
that's a coffee machine.
Yeah.
To be fair, some people probably spend £1,500 on coffees in Starbucks per year.
Yeah.
Oh, if not more. Like
Yeah,
a £5 each now, aren't they?
If it makes a coffee that's better than Starbucks as well, then that's worth it. That's an investment.
I'd say for future, coffee machine at home, decent one. Obviously microwave and yeah, air fryer. I love air fryer.
Tom?
Air fryer, frying pan, because I'm a one-pan guy. I'm very simple, right?
Pansexual.
Microwave, because I wouldn't be able to have my microwave rice that everyone judges me for.
What? Why do they judge you?
Everyone says that microwave rice is like dead.
No. It's elite. It's elite.
Good.
Do you know
It's
what?
so consistent. It's banging.
I've got to change. No, that's right. I eat rice so much. It's my rice cooker.
You're a rice cooker.
I'm a rice cooker, man. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. What about fridge?
See,
Is that an appliance?
Yeah, I'd say so. Of course it is. It's an
It
appliance.
is, yeah.
Freaking out. I bet Ruth sat there going, you've gone way off of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, yeah. We'll just... You should have said, like, cooking appliance. That's, like, the main one.
yeah. Ruth, can you be more specific with the questions, please?
Yeah.
I've got a little hand whisk that I use at the minute to make shakes and stuff. I'd put that in my top 3. I'd love a Ninja Creamy, and the air fryer is amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Abby's asked a question. Jake, when's the RDL competition with Josh? And then also, when you going to propose?
Has she actually put that?
She has actually put that.
Shit.
I'm not sure if she means you propose to me or you propose to her.
I mean, I'd propose to you. No, I'm joking. We look, watch a Christmas night, you and me watching Gavin and Stacey. That could be the perfect
scenario. Mate, we'll do synchronized.
Oh, yes, we should. Yeah, fucking hell.
That'll be amazing.
RDL competition. Well,
there's no competition.
Well, yeah, but we definitely do need to do one just to show the people.
I'll do one with you today, mate.
You're not doing one with me today. I will snap.
I have snapped.
We'll wait, and when I hit 115 kilo body weight in off season, and when I can RDL 280, then we'll do it and we'll see. I mean, top for me, Josh. What was it? 250 for 7 height of off season. So that was pretty mad. So yeah,
it's just fucking insane, honestly.
I'm going to share around the video again at some point on socials because just why not? But yeah, I was pretty impressed with that. Proposing wise, abs, none of your business. It will happen when it's meant to happen.
Yeah, like 4 years time.
Yeah, 4 years time, and then a long engagement of about 15 years. Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah, perfect.
You got to fill the kitchen with Ninja appliances before you go spend it.
Yeah. You've got to have all the appliances before you get the ring. Everyone knows that.
And then what you do is you make a creamy, right? And then you put the ring on top. And then when she unscrews the lid, and the lid,
you can plan it for me. This is ideal. Yeah.
You're dressed up as a gladiator, watching gladiators. She opens her creamy, ring right there.
Don't. This is perfect.
Yeah,
that is perfection. And then to celebrate, they'll go in RDL.
Yeah.
What a day! What a day!
Wow.
And then we'll have Pheno Pitta wraps as well to.
Yes. Oh, mate.
And watch Gavin and Stacey. Yes.
Let's all be present for the day I do it. This is it.
Oh yeah, let's make it as weird as possible. We'll do it on the podcast.
Yeah.
How can we make it more weird? We'll live stream it.
Yeah. Great.
Cal Curry has asked, what's it like having 2 first names?
I mean, it's a proper British name, isn't it? Jake James Morgan. I don't know. I asked my dad. We can't, sadly, but ask my dad. Just what was going through their mind. Hey, look, I know it's a bit morbid, but I always say, look, if I can joke about things like that, then it's fine. People can just take it as they want. But I don't know. I guess it was just a decision at the time that had to be made, and they went with it. It depends on how you look at it, but I only use my handle Jake James because everyone's still, even you, Josh, you go, oh, Jake James has asked. It's because people refer to me like that now, but yeah, it's, I don't know, I have to ask my parents, and you probably won't get an opportunity to ask my parents, so sorry.
I'm sorry. Cal Curry's also asked favourite prep meal and go-to off-plan meal. We've pretty much gone through the go-to off-plans. Favourite prep meal. What is your favourite prep meal so far, Jacob boy?
Probably my cream of rice meal. Yeah, I'm a big fan of cream of rice. JP's, it's boring, but it's just it's just all centered around gut and stomach sensitivity for me. So JP's cream of rice vanilla, his ISO Pro vanilla whey as well, with chopped banana on top, cinnamon, salt, and that meal just hit the spot every time.
Beautiful.
Do you like dark chocolate?
Love dark chocolate.
Okay, so what you want to do, my good friend, is make your cream of rice.
Yeah.
Quite like thick and firm.
Always.
Make sure it's nice and level on the top. So you've mixed it and you just let it settle. Get your dark chocolate, drop it on top, spread it around when it's hot, so it melts the chocolate, creates like a hard layer on top.
Yeah.
Put it in the fridge, let it go cold. Do you like it cold?
See, I like it cold, but I actually prefer it warm.
Right.
But I'm open to ideas.
Okay. Put it in the fridge, let it set, go hard. When you like dip your spoon in it, it like cracks through the chocolate and it's all like shut. Oh mate, unreal. Yeah. And then you put your whey paste on top, your fruit. It's levels.
We have one more question from a chap that asks quite a lot of questions on the podcast, and they are always centered around show day, right? Yeah. It's Mr. Agam.Saini.58. He has asked, how do you manage to stay relaxed on show day?
Well, we'll see this year how we do that. I think last time round, it was more the case that Abby was with me for both shows, and she was like my helper. And I've said this to Josh the other week. I was like, in this world, I don't think I could do a lot without her in those situations. She's very helpful, and I can't wait to return the favour when she jumps on stage. Like, I would say you need good people around you that understand where you're at on the day, because you could be, anything could set you off in terms of a stress reaction, and that could be extremely detrimental in those final moments to your physique. So I'd say having good people that understands the phase around you, planning prior, if you know you're going to be, need to take certain things, and obviously plan way in advance. You've got the peak week to get things prepped, and just ensure you've got everything. Make a little checklist maybe, but again, have people to help you with that. Hopefully have your coach present. I think that would be extremely helpful. Mm-hmm. And relative to their plans as well and what they can and can't do. Basically, I don't think you should be making yourself any decisions on a show day. It should all be done, or it should be done for you either by your coach or people around you. Shouldn't be. You just need to be there, present, either listening to music, enjoying the day, and not worrying. Because at that point, realistically, you're not going to be able to do. The hard work should have been done. Show day is just about tinkering. You're not going to be able to do anything, miraculous. It's just deal with the situation. Stress remains extremely low, as low as possible, and just enjoy the day.
Yeah. I think you nailed it, mate.
Agam has asked this question many, many times now. So I'm going to say, for you, Agam, my friend, I think you need to just go and do multiple shows, because clearly you've got some kind of thing in your head that you think, oh, it's going to be really stressful. I'm not going to do this, or this is going to go badly. The more you go and do it, and even if you mess up every single time, you'll learn what you do that causes you to mess up. So just going and practicing and just being at shows, even if you're not competing, just go to a show and imagine what you would do at that show at that given time. You sit around all day, about an hour before you're meant to go on, you start moving around, getting things ready, putting your board shorts on, all that kind of stuff. Truly visualize getting ready to go on stage. But from experience, I've done 16 shows now. Probably the first 5 I was nervous for. After that, not nervous at all. The Worlds, I was excited. It's just that, being in the environments that you think are gonna, over arouse you. you need to be in them because then you'll become comfortable in them.
Yeah, I like to just break it down to its minimal concept as well. That sounds weird. All right, what situation I'm in? Because you're always going to make a bigger deal of it in your head than what it actually is. I'm
Yeah.
literally just on stage with a bunch of dudes. We're all wearing weird shorts. We've got tan on. There's a bunch of judges looking at us, and we're just having fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually that deep. You make it. It's like really like huge moment. It's like, no, just get on there and have fun. Remember why you're there, and like, yeah, it's just not that deep. I don't know. That's what I do. And also, I kind of just like your body language almost sets how you feel backstage. If you're really uptight, you got your hood up, you're fucking sat there in a nervous position. Like what I do is like I just every now and then walk around. I go to the efforts of like chatting to people. And you want like before I'm about to actually go on stage as well, where you're typically gonna feel the most nervous. Everyone's getting ready. Like I kind of just make sure I'm like feeling loose, like have a little bit of a dance, just like priming my body to just chill. Josh, don't give me that face, mate. Like just a little boogie, just dance around a little bit. And honestly, like your body language really does impact how you mentally feel.
Yeah.
So it's almost like just priming yourself and changing that. But yeah, just it's not that deep, man. You chose to do it for a reason. Remember why you're there and enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, boy.
Right, chaps. An hour and 15 minutes, Jake. You
Lovely.
have spoke for the perfect duration of time. So thank you for that. And thank you for making the time this morning to come on the poddy.
Thank you very much, both, for having me. It's been a pleasure. I was really excited about coming on here.
Appreciate your time, mate. Honestly do. Know you're a busy man right now, smashing out, mate. So I hope the rest of prep goes well. I'll be seeing you. The first show is the Midlands. I'll be at the Midlands show, so I'll see you there, mate.
He's literally coming to watch you. Yeah. Tom's got no skin in the game. No one's competing. Just coming to support Jake.
I just want to be in the presence of Josh and yourself. That's all it is.
Yeah,
that is very sweet.
I've got Charlie competing at it as well. I don't know if I said it in the last podcast or whatever. Yeah, wow. So it'll be you and Charlie. I wanted Martin to come down and do it, but it's looking like it might be too far to travel from Scotland.
Yeah,
on like a childcare front. But yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend.
I was going to get Zach in there, but he's too busy eating cake at his nephew's birthday party. So
such poor form, Zach. Such poor form.
Yeah, all good. But anyway, people, thank you very much for listening. If you want to cop some of the finest, we're not actually wearing any. We're really, really bad right now. But the finest bodybuilding clothing in the game, you can use code BSB at the checkout. And Jake, where can the people find you if they don't follow you already?
If they don't follow me already, you can find me on Instagram at Jake James Fitness, and TikTok, the same handle as well, because I'm starting to ramp that up a bit more now as well.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I'll leave your links down in the description as well. But yeah, thank you very much for listening, people. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.